Special welcome to our guest speakers who are here today. We look forward to hearing from you. All right, Alexandra, we're
Yeah,
with you.
thank you, Yemi. Thank you for everyone who come today. I'm really appreciate. We feel your support, and thank you, Judith, for your words, for supportive words, and uh, I really appreciate this. And if you remember, uh, during last meeting, you heard air defense alarm from Danka's phone. And here how the map of air alarms looked like then. Uh, Almost all Ukraine was in danger. And the same thing happened during Easter weekend. As you may know, we had Easter weekend on this Sunday, and there were air defense alarms almost all over Ukraine. And on April 23, 8 people died and 20 people were injured due to the attacks in Odessa. 4 people were injured due to shelling in Kharkiv. 1 person injured and 1 person died in Kharkiv Oblast. And on April 24, there were missiles attack in Poltavska Oblast and Kremenchuk. 7 person injured and 1 person died. On April 25, there were numerous shelling all over Ukraine. It started in the morning. 1 person injured and 5 person died in Vinnytska Oblast. The terrible situation still continues to be in Mariupol. The good news is that Mariupol still stands. I mean, Azovstal. But the bad news is that the satellite have located the 3rd mass grave of civilians near Mariupol. And here you see this picture. These are mass grave and trenches that are more than 200 meters long was appeared in the Stary Krym. It is a village which is 5 kilometers from the city, and some assume that about 9,000 people can be buried there in that mass graves. And what happened in Azovstal during this week? On the night of April 26th, there was 35 airplane attacks on Azovstal plant, and this led to the fire of the section of the plant. You may see it on this picture, and civilians were injured, and they are under rubbles now. And here you see a screenshot from a video. This video was made in the basement of Azovstal, and we know that doctors they do some operations there right in basement, and there are a lot of people there and they are injured and they need help. And as you remember last week, one commander from Azov, he asked world leaders to organize a green corridor, and actually on April 26, a green corridor happened to be a trap because Russian troops continued to shoot in the territory of the plant, and black smoke over the plant is a result of bombing. And you see this picture. It was made when during this green corridor. So Russians gave 10 minutes to everybody to come out from the Azovstal, and after 10 minutes they started to shoot. As you see, Azovstal still need help, and Mariupol still begging for help. And again, it's terrible terrible numbers that I have to share with you. Sorry, there is a mistake. It's 270 children are killed now, and more than 350 children are wounded. And today I found this terrible information that I read the interview of Ukrainian Ombudsman Lyudmila Denisova, which was published on April 26. And in this interview, she said that about 400 appeals about cases of rape by Russian occupiers have already been received. And victims are not only girls and women, it's also boys. In particular, it's 11-year-old boys and also men. And there are two common features for these rapes. It's that rapists are young people, 20, 25 years old, and they do it in public, in front of mother or in front of sister of the victim, and they do it in group. It's terrible information, but I think I should that you have to know it, and we have to share it for you to know the real face of this war. And this is, one more time, this is a proof that this is a genocide war in Ukraine. And on this slide, we tried to show that standing for Ukraine does not mean ignoring others, because often we hear that and what about Palestine, and what about Syria, what about Pakistan, what about Afghanistan, and many countries. And sometimes I feel helpless myself, because it feels like we don't have right to speak up because of other conflicts. But on this slide, we try to show that Russia play a huge role in ongoing wars, and the current war which is happening in Ukraine. And I want to remind that it started on 2014, and it is one of Russia's war. And I want to read words of our president, Volodymyr Zelensky. He said it at the UN Security Council. He said, "The chain of mass killings from Syria to Somalia, from Afghanistan to Yemen and Libya should have been stopped a long time ago, to be honest. If tyranny had ever received such a response to the war, it had unleashed that it would cease to exist, and a fair peace would have been guaranteed after it. The world would have changed for sure." And I want to remind that since 2014, we Ukrainians mostly heard from the West that they are deeply concerned, and they didn't get real help to start this war. And it leads to the things we have today. And I also would like to remind you how you can help us, how you can help Ukraine. On this slide, we collect all the necessary information, and I want to emphasize the Return Alive Foundation and the National Bank Account, special bank account to support armed forces of Ukraine. And we will send you the link to this presentation, and you will be able to see it, to share it, and to act. And I want to give the floor to Danka for her to present our guest speakers, which I'm really proud of that they are here. And please, Danka, the floor is yours.
Before we, I just remind, before we go to guest speakers, I just remind one point about of Support Ukraine. There is like one organization who support directly Azov polk in Mariupol, about which Alexandra mentioned. So I just sent link in the chat, so you could go and, if you want, of course, donate to somehow support Mariupol. About our guest speakers, we really appreciate that they joined us today. Today with us, today with us will be Христина Скороход. She is International Secretary of PLAST, and PLAST, I guess you know, like Scout movement. So PLAST is a kind of Ukrainian National Scout movement. It's like a non-profit voluntary organization. Also today with us is Yelizaveta Pidoprigoda, if I pronounce it correctly. Lisa or Yelizaveta is head of Kyiv Humanitarian Center, and it's actually charity organization created at the first day of war, as I know. And mostly this organization support Ukrainian military. And also today with us will be Alexander Hrebet. It's Ukrainian journalist. He is international desk editor of ASEAN UA. Besides like telling about Ukrainian war, Alexander also cover the war in Syria, the Palestine-Israel conflict. Also, he focused on Middle East and North Africa, and as well as a post-Soviet area. So we will have like after the presentation of our speakers, we will have you will have actually opportunity to ask your question like directly for all, or you could like decide to whom it's better to concern. I think we after their presentation we could like use like 15 minutes for questions. So the floor for Christina. Christina will start.
Yeah.
Can we just welcome them and maybe show them some UPG love, please? So welcome to all our speakers today. Thank you so much for being here. Your work is priceless, invaluable. You're literally on the front line of what we like to think of as humanity. So thank you. And you've made the time to be with us here today. So thank you very much. All right, you've got the floor. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to meet you here. I'm Christina, and I am a part of National Scout Ukrainian organization PLAST. And today I'm going to tell you about the organization, its activities, and how together we can help Ukraine. And it doesn't matter whenever you are, and it's important for us to share it with you. And maybe the next slide. And I will tell you a little about the organization, how we work and what it is. So we are working for 110 years, and we have nearly 11,200 members in Ukraine, and also we have some branches in other countries like Poland, Czech Republic, Finland, Austria, Australia, and others. And we have nearly 3,000 members there. And our main goal of organization is to develop the youth, to develop leadership skills, and to grow them and to promote the youth in accordance with Scouting principles and ideas. And we have the programs for every age, so it doesn't matter if you are 6 years old, 30, 60, and so on. So it has inclusive programs. And all of the members in organization are working as volunteers. For example, I am working here like with children as a mentor, and I am working in administration sphere. And also, if you're a scout, it's essential and important for you to take like scout oath. And if you're taking it, you're telling that you will do everything in your power, like to help people, also to be like loyal to God and to Ukraine. And this means that it is very important for us to be a part of some changes in the world, to make some positive things, to help others. And it leads us to the next slide. That means that will tell us how we are working now. So we have 3 directions now during the time of the war. We are working like plus support headquarters to protect defenders. We are working with some requests to protect the people who are in the military, in the armed forces or territorial defense, like military clothes, walkie-talkies, also bulletproof vests, some medical supplies. Also, we are working like humanitarian help. We are providing it to the people in need, also to the children and people who are temporarily displaced abroad or in Ukraine. And we are providing them food, housing, and some of the essentials. And our main and last direction is working with children and youth. Usually we are having workshops with them or lessons, and we don't have possibility now to have them in all regions because it's not safe. So for some of them we have like online lessons, for some of them we have possibility like on the west part of Ukraine, like Lviv, to have offline lessons, and we are trying to develop the competences like to give the first aid. Also, we work with them to support them morally and to adapt them to the new reality. And we also learn with them how we can help Ukraine and what every one of us can do, even if you're little or you're adult. So we are learning how to do some social and charity events, and they can create their own projects during this time. And the next slide will tell you about the examples of few projects we have for now. And these projects were also created by the members of organizations. For example, the first image is energy bars we have. We are making them and cooking them. They are useful and they're giving a lot of energy and to the soldiers, and we are giving them and providing them. Also, we having some lessons with the children, with displaced people. For example, there was Easter in the last week, so we painted some Easter eggs because it's a tradition in Ukraine to do like this. On the third photo, you can see our reports of requests that we are buying usually, and also we are we're teaching children how to pack some first aid kits, and we have some warehouses where we sorting humanitarian help. And the next slide is the last one. In April, we had the birthday of organization, and we launched a big campaign, a big fundraiser campaign to take the money and donations to help the defenders and to protect them. And we have such initiatives and different projects. And if you're willing to help and have possibilities, please, you can check the QR code and find the more information of our organization on our social media links. And we will be happy to see you there because every help matters. And thank you for your attention and the little dialogue, international dialogue we had here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we show her some love, please? Thank you so much. I believe the plan is to continue for the guest speakers to continue presenting.
Yeah,
If you have any
yeah.
questions for
Actually,
her,
yeah,
we can take
yeah,
them at
we
the
will
end,
have
right?
questions later after all
Good.
speakers. Actually, our next speaker will be Lisa, and actually, Lisa wanted to share her presentation. This one presentation. Maybe Alexa just stop and Lisa, could you share? Do you have opportunity? Yep. Okay.
Yep, of course. Thank you for this, because I made some animation on my presentation and now I need to be in charge of it. Sorry for that. But yeah. So actually, I just wanted to start from the thing that I'm super impressed by this event. I would never expected this to be like that, and people from all over the world, especially from the parts that are really far away from Ukraine, to talk about us. But I don't want to ask you to donate, because like maybe like everyone has their own financial situations, but what I want to really ask you just to listen to my story and just think how different your life can be if one day you just wake up with unpeaceful sky. So one day I woke up from the bombing sounds, and actually my life since that day changed forever, and I think I will never be the same that I was. And from that day, I understood that I have a desire to help. I have experience of leading NGOs and fundraising money, and I have a big network. So with my friends, we decided to create something that can help our armed forces to protect us, but also to solve the humanitarian crisis that started. So our organization didn't really start as a Kyiv humanitarian center, as fancy as it sounds. It actually started just as an initiative on the first days of the full invasion of Russia. And it started on the basis of the 3 other organizations, study Students for Freedom, the Liberty Organization, Tactical Care. It's an organization that is really pro in medicine. And the Cosmos Tabir is the organization that is responsible for a lot of venues. So they helped us with the warehouse. And right now we have a team like more of 20 volunteers, and we are located in Kyiv. And I just wanted to focus your attention that moment that we were always in Kyiv, even where there was one of the hottest spots. And right now we are focusing on 3 type of helps. First is the armed forces of Ukraine, just because if we don't help them, we will be just killed. I will talk about that later. The second point is hospitals, because they help us to save lives, to win this war with less loss of people. And third is of course civilians, because we support a lot of humanitarian help, and we want to help people who are in crisis. And right now we are helping more than 27 groups of different individuals. There's armed forces, hospitals. So they all send us their needs, and we try to find how to provide everything to them with supplies. So here I just wanted to show some videos how it all works in our center. So we have a warehouse, and we actually deliver everything by ourselves. And it's like a lot of medicine, a lot of things. And we all, I just like, trust me, we never knew like that we're gonna do this. So everything we do is just on the spot, and we try to prepare ourselves with learning things from the background, but it's not really possible when you do it so fast. And when you have this type of situations, you do everything really fast. And here I just wanted to show you some results of our current work. This was this thing that we already delivered, but it's only the smallest part. Like we have a whole report for 20 pages what we already delivered for this 2 months of the full invasion of Russia to Ukraine. And here you can see some pictures. And yeah, I feel like you can see in the bottom cats. These are our armed forces. We don't, we cannot show their faces from the protection point of view, so we put cats' faces. But they really are cats. They're really cute, and they really do amazing work. And because of them, I can say that I'm still alive. Because if you remember this crisis that happened in Bucha, Bucha is 30 kilometers from the place where I live. And if armed forces didn't stop Russian soldiers on that place, I don't think I would be presenting this presentation to you right now. But talking about the good things, on the right corner, you can see my car. Like, actually not my car, the car of my father, but with this car I was delivering all of the things to our armed forces and hospitals all this time. Yeah, and this is just constant process. Right now my part of the team is in a warehouse, and they're packing the packages for all over Ukraine. And as the last thing, I just wanted to ask you to act and not ignore us. And us, I mean Ukrainians and our war. I know you all have a lot of problems, and like this world still goes on, and we have a huge amount of problems. But just this is not just our fight. This is not our war. It's a war for democracy. And we have in our Kyiv Humanitarian Center really simple thing that you can really do. It's really easy. So if you follow this QR code, or I will just post the links in our chat. So we have a Google Drive with the posters on it. Some of them have my picture and a picture of other teammates where we tell our story and put the QR code where you can help. Or there is like posters in different languages that you can use, where it's written "Save Ukraine, Stop War." And our main goal is actually, of course, to raise more funds to provide our forces and hospitals with the things they need. But they're always also about the raising awareness. So if you can just follow that link, print out that poster, and put it on the wall in a place you work, in a place you study, or where a place you live, whatever, in a place you like. I would be really grateful for you to this. It's not really hard, but you can really do that. And of course, send us pictures when you do that. It will make me super happy, and I will share it everywhere. And yeah, just share it with me. If you will not find your language in that Google Drive, just text us in Facebook, Instagram, any place. We will do the poster with your language. But we already did like 45 languages, but we are ready like to do more. Just share with us your language. We'll be happy to do it for you. So thank you so much for listening, and I thank you so much for being here and investing time in this. I do really appreciate this, and I already told all my team how inspired you are to help us, and they are all just shocked. So thank you so much.